Hi everybody and welcome to my kitchen. My name's Antonia Maguire and I'm a naturopathic nutritional therapist. This week I've been talking to a lot of people about food and mental health and some of the ways in which we can help our brains every day just simply through the food that we eat. And as a lot of you know, the three main food groups, carbohydrates, proteins and fats, all come into play here in their own individual ways. So first I'm going to look at what I would consider a healthy breakfast. I'm then going to make a nice green goddess smoothie. I'm going to make us a lunch, which is a stuffed avocado stuffed with smoked salmon. And then I'm going to tell you a little bit about this bone broth that I've got going on in the background here. So our brains like to run on glucose. And if you have a diet that's high in refined sugars, and lots of caffeine and alcohol, you will find that your blood sugar is disrupted. So a great way to level your blood sugar is to make sure you're having the right combination of complex carbohydrates, proteins and healthy fats. Now, complex carbohydrates are brown normally. This is brown rice, this is quinoa. They mix really well together and they take about the same amount of time to cook. So you can cook them together and give yourself a really nice carbohydrate base for whatever you're going to have for lunch or for dinner. You can also use lentils. Red lentils dissolve into a sauce very nicely. So even if you're just making something like a shepherd's pie or a simple vegetable curry, you'll find that they give you a lovely sauce. I like Asian food. I like noodles. This is black rice noodles. These are great. You can of course buy whole grain rice in packets if you're feeling pushed for time. But the one I'm going to show you here today is all about oats, rolled oats. Now some of you like porridge in the morning, that's great. But I like to soak my oats overnight because I find them much more digestible. And in fact, if you soak your oats overnight, you will find that they're much more rehydrating on your bowel. You'll be dehydrated when you wake up in the morning, and if you eat dry cereal or dry oats, or you don't give things enough time to cook, you can find that they're a bit too much on the gut. So this is what I do in the evening. I take about 1.5 tablespoons of whole rolled oats. These are organic, they're not much more expensive, organic. And into that I'm going to add 1 teaspoon full of flax seeds or linseeds. Again, these are great for your gut if you soak them overnight because they absorb all that water. I'm also going to add a teaspoonful of chia seeds. Now both linseeds and chia seeds contain large amounts of omega-3 fats, so you're already halfway to that balance. Complex carbs, the oats contain plenty of fibre and B vitamins, and 2 little spoons of very protein and fat rich seeds. Now I like to soak them overnight with fruit. I'm a big fan of berries in the freezer. So I'm going to soak these overnight with a nice big handful of blackberries. These are really high in antioxidants and vitamin C. So you'll be getting the first portion of your fruit and vegetable today as well. You can soak these in water. Alternatively, you can soak them, as I'm going to do tonight, in coconut milk. It's nice and creamy. It's also been fortified with minerals and vitamins. It's a great alternative to cow's milk. So all I need to do is give that a stir and set it aside. In fact, I'm going to put it in the fridge till the morning. And if it's a really cold morning tomorrow, I'm just going to warm it up on the stove. So another really important area of good health, one to really keep your eye on here, is to make sure you're eating a really good supply of brightly coloured fruits and vegetables. Now, you'll find that green vegetables contain the really important mineral magnesium, which is really essential for so many aspects of health, but really good for muscle and nerve relaxant. So I tend to, if I can, make myself a green smoothie of a day. Now, I'm not a big one for smoothies and juices, to be honest with you, but this one really does make sense and is also really yummy. So I start off with one medium-sized handful of organic spinach. And into that I'm going to put half a banana. This is a pretty high-speed blender, so you don't have to chop things up too fine. But you could use a Vitamix or just a regular blender, in fact. And into that I'm going to put a kiwi. This is a really ripe kiwi, so I'm going to keep half the skin on. Kiwis are extremely high in vitamin C and they're reasonably low GL, so they're a really nice way to make sure you've got lovely healthy vitamins in there. I'm going to put a capful of flaxseed oil in. We talk a lot about healthy fats, we talk about brain health, and flaxseed is also really good if you are a woman who is approaching the menopause. It's a natural phytoestrogen and it's flavourless, so it works really well in here. To this I'm going to add the juice of half a lime. Now you can put these lemons and limes in the freezer and grate them in, but it just does give a really lovely, slightly exotic smell and taste. So half a lime. Now if you're looking for something a bit more substantial, you by all means can put protein powder in here or avocado, and I'm going to top this up with coconut water. So I'm going to pop that onto my high-speed blender and hope that's enough liquid. I've given it a bit of a whiz. That lime juice is making me feel very hungry. And I'm going to pour that in and do myself a favour. It's delicious. So it's really important to include really good clean sources of protein in your diet, especially if you're trying to support your mental health. So my favourites here are wild caught salmon, smoked salmon, which I'm going to show you a recipe for now, organic corn-fed chicken, and grass-fed meat. Now, if you're a vegan or a vegetarian, or even if you're not, you can still include lots of plant-based forms of protein in your diet. And a big one here are mushrooms. Very versatile, from soups to risottos, and in all sorts of different pies, fillings, etc. But also beans, peas, mushrooms, lentils and legumes are all really important, very low on the glycemic load, nice sources of protein. For this recipe today, I'm going to make an avocado boat. So I'm going to take one nice avocado, again, a lovely source of healthy brain fats. And I'm going to scoop the avocado flesh into this bowl in which I've already got some chopped up cherry tomatoes. So you can scoop your avocado straight in. I've chosen a slightly unripe one. And give that a bit of a mash. And now I'm going to snip in some smoked salmon. You could, of course, simply eat smoked salmon and avocado, but this is just a different take. So you've snipped your pieces of avocado in, and now I'm going to add about a teaspoonful of toasted seeds. I've toasted these seeds myself, and I'll put them on everything. With a little drop of olive oil, another brain healthy fat. I'm going to use the other half of that lime, for some extra vitamin C, and then I'm going to simply mix that together and put it back in the avocado for a really healthy, delicious and tasty lunch. Now there's one source of fat and protein that comes up time and time again when I'm talking about nutrition for mental health, and that's eggs. So versatile, you can have an egg every day and it won't affect your cholesterol levels. But from baked eggs to masala omelettes to simple poached eggs on toast for breakfast, these are a real powerhouse of brain nutrients. One of my favourite things to do is make a big Spanish omelette. I quite often use peppers, which are rich in vitamin C, onions, which are great for your immune system. And there's some greens, such as some lightly fried off broccoli florets or some leftover peas from dinner, anything you like really. So I'm not going to make you an omelette now, but a big Spanish omelette is an incredibly versatile and delicious way to get some excellent brain foods in. So last but not least, I gave up buying chicken pieces a very long time ago. I tend to buy one large nice organic chicken now, and over here I've got my bone broth on the go. I do this every couple of weeks and I use it in everything. I pile it full of onions and turmeric, black pepper, I put celery and carrot and all sorts of delicious bits and pieces in there, and it gives me a stock as a base for so many dishes. But what I really love about it is its ability to completely heal and keep my gut as healed as it could possibly be. So having the integrity in your gut lining is everything for your health. So do please invest maybe in a stock pot like this and get cooking, and chicken is the way to go. So listen, thanks very much for listening, and I hope it's given you some ideas and inspiration. Every single food you see here on my table looks like it's supposed to look like in nature. So get cooking and make sure you're including all these beautiful food groups in your diet.